So I had an ace king versus pocket queen situation in this one where we shoved pre-flop, and you're not going to want to miss it. That's going to come up towards the end, but we got some good stuff to go over before that, some interesting spots I want to break down. And what I want you guys to do is grab a bottle of water, some coffee, maybe some Gatorade, sit back and kind of get ready for this. Also, I'm going to say this one time, if you're not in our community yet, I mean, it's time to get in it, man. You can talk with me, other high-level members, and a lot of good stuff in there if you're just trying to like level up or take things a little bit more serious with your play. That'll be in the pinned comment. Also, you just tap the like and let's get right into this. And I'll tell you what, I was actually pretty bluffy to start things off here, and I was throwing some bluffs out there, right? I say this all the time. Like, the way I approach playing is I'm just trying to outplay opponents at the table when I'm playing. For example, GTO, ABC, all these different styles. Like, it's good to know all the concepts and everything, but eventually you want to flip the script and start using this stuff against people, okay? And that's really what it is, man. So I try to exploit opponents using any of this stuff, and sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But I've been playing long enough now. It's been a couple decades where you got to realize, like, as you start to move up, you cannot just play you just can't play like straight up. You have to mix things up. You also got to make good decisions, especially when you're bluffing. You know what I mean? So, and here, I mean, we missed this board, obviously. We don't have anything. I mean, sure, we could maybe hit some runner cards, but, we're not blocking anything. We don't have clubs, 8 on the turn. Not putting this guy on an 8. It is very possible he has like a 10 here, I actually continued here, regardless. He didn't have a whole lot left behind, something like 339, something like that. But I continued here. I was leaning towards, a fold there. River card was good for a couple of reasons, because the way I've played this, I'm basically repping an overpair at this point. We're blocking queen jack. We have the jack. The flush missed. And the other thing, too, it's kind of hard to make this call with just a pair of tens. Like, if this guy's got just a 10 here, it's tough, man. It's tough. That's what I was trying to do here. If he did call us off with a pair of tens here, it is what it is. But the way I played this hand, I made it look like I had a big overpair. I mean, that's really the way I played it. We got him to fold. I don't know what he had. Obviously, if he had a pair of tens, then we made a good play. If he had like a missed flush or something, then he was obviously never calling either. But I thought that was pretty interesting. And yeah, man, let me know what you thought about that start right there with that ace jack bluff. All right, next we had an ace deuce suited. Obviously, I'm going to be making this call. Not going to be raising this, though. It's just a call. We're in the small blind, and we're suited. Any ace X suited, I'm always playing it. Not a good flop. Pretty much just a check fold here. I think I thought about bluffing at one point, but it just didn't make sense. And, I do encourage you guys to, like, if you're going to bluff and it doesn't make sense, just don't do it. Sometimes it's just better off, losing a hand as opposed to trying to tell a story that doesn't make sense. I see a lot of people do that on the opposite side when I'm playing in these games. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. If you're going to bluff, you got to bluff, man. You got to bluff every street. You got to make it look believable. If it doesn't look believable, someone's going to call you every time, especially as you're playing against better opponents, like just playing these mid-state games, right? Anyways, folded that. Got a king queen suited here, and we're just getting warmed up here. Okay, gonna open here. I would like to get raised with this, but kind of sad no one played us there. Too bad. Too bad, so sad. Queen 10 off. I actually just folded it. If I was on the button, I would have open raised, but, sometimes I do fold these hands where I'm in early position. They're kind of like iffy to me, If it was suited, I would have opened, but it's not, and we were first to act there. So check fold here with the king deuce. Got that king deuce, okay? Little king deuce. But yeah, just going to be a check fold here. Player 2 taking some time here. Yeah, just folding this. Once again, this is just not a hand you want to see a flop with. It doesn't flop well. If it's suited, yeah, sure. you know, make a call, raise it from late position, but it's not. It's just garbage. And sometimes just got to throw that garbage out, man. We had an ace-10 offsuit here. I'm sorry, suited. Very nice looking hand. We are going to be dealing with some aggression from player 5. However, you know, we're not going anywhere here. We are going to get re-raised. A part of me, okay, here's the problem. This is a problem I see sometimes too. Like, when I get raised here from the big blind, you could have obviously a good hand, some mid-pocket pairs, maybe some ace-kings or ace-queens. We are suited. It doesn't really make sense to re-raise here, so kind of just thought it through. Obviously, we're not folding. Going to play a little bit more defense here. Not a good flop, you know. Why couldn't it have been 10-10 king, right? But it's not. So, not much we could do here. Couldn't really continue. Even if he was bluffing there, which I don't know if he was bluffing, maybe. And if he was, maybe it would have been a good spot for us to continue there, but I don't know. I just let it go. All right, kind of similar to the queen 10. Got a king 10 offsuit here. Going to get raised from player 3, and I just let this go, which I do sometimes. So I think it's fine. You know, that's the thing too. Like, I pick my spots. You know, when I'm going to play something, I'm going to play it. When I'm just not feeling it, I'll fold it. You know what I mean? So player 3's been playing pretty tight as well. I did pick up on that. So do I want to see a flop with a king 10 off? Not exactly. But if it's suited, or if I was in the small or big blind right there, then I would make the call, if that makes sense. You know, some nuance to this. All right, jack 7 off. Just going to be folding this. And I think we're playing pretty good so far. Hope you guys are enjoying some of what you're seeing, but still getting warmed up here, and don't go anywhere. Took a little sip of coffee right there. Excuse me. All right, 9-10 suited. We got another fun one here. I'll tell you what. This was a fun one. All right, so we're going to be in the big blind here. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a flop with this, like, all the time. I'm never folding this, even to some re-raises or big raises. Player 6 did a little limper shrimper. I mean, what's that all about, you know? Back over to player 2. He's going to kick it up to the 20 piece. We are just going to call here. I'm expecting player 6 to also call. I could see player 6 doing some sneaky re-raises. You see sometimes people like limp in with big hands, but that wasn't the case. And this was not the flop we wanted to see. The thing about this flop, though, is it's going to miss player 2 a lot of the time, too. We can expect him to be open raising with a lot of over cards like ace-king, ace-queen suited, ace-jack suited, you know, some of that stuff. So I'm not necessarily folding just yet. So I'm going to make this call. Or I'm sorry, I didn't just make the call. I actually mixed things up here. The reason I did this, I wanted to see where he was at, okay? Now, if I get this wrong, we could just fold it right now. Like, if he re-raises us, we could just fold it. I applied some pressure to see what he has. That's what I was doing here. If he's got a couple overcards, maybe he still calls here. There is a spade draw out there. We're not blocking the spades, okay? He's just going to make the call. Turn card was a 5, okay? Here's the thing. He felt weak to me. It felt weak. I think player 2's got an overpair in that spot. I think he's going to make a play. I don't think he's just going to play defense. So that's the reason I made this play. Putting player 2 to the test here for his whole stack, and we got nothing, man. I mean, we got no straight draws possible here. If he has an overpair, we're dead. But I sense weakness, so I made this play. Gonna live or die with it, and let's see what player 2 does. He folded it. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. I thought that one was pretty fun, pretty interesting. 6 on the river. Yeah, man. Absolutely nothing there. That was a fun one, though. And that's why I said, like I said, man, if you're going to make a play, you know, stick with it, think it through. I put the pieces together there to the puzzle. We got player 2 off of it, okay? Just felt like he wasn't strong enough to make that call. At the end of the day, I was right. All right, next we had pocket 5s here. Going to see a flop with it. Hoping to get a 5, right? No, sir. Check fold here, can't really continue. And I'm not going to peel off here and try to get a 5. I mean, I'm just not going to do it. I mean, sure, there's some runner cards for like straights, but still. Yeah, I'm just folding this. Just folding it, letting it go. But we still got this ace-king versus queen situation coming up. We're making our way there. Yeah, turn card was an 8, so good fold. All right, ace-5 off. Now this is a button raise, but if somebody, raises before us, it's just a fold. Unless it's suited, which it wasn't, so I just folded it. Yeah, we would have missed the flop anyways. Not a big deal. Pretty standard stuff here. Okay, yeah, on to the next one here. I think player 6 is going to take this down. Let's see. Yeah, you did. Okay, so I think we've been playing pretty good so far, making some bluffs, making some things work. But every once in a while, though, you make a play, it doesn't work. And that's kind of what we got here. We got an ace-10. It's going to be offsuit. Ace-10, ace-jack offsuit are just a couple of the hands that you can lose a lot on. So you got to be careful. And I say it all the time because it is what it is, man. I've played enough now that I know what I'm talking about. So player 3 is going to open raise here. I'm just going to call him. Got to make a call here. You could argue raising this, but I like calling. We still got 2 players to act behind us, so we're just going to call. If it was suited, yeah, I'd probably re-raise it, but it's not. And like I said, when you got ace-10 offsuit, ace-jack offsuit, there are just a couple tricky hands to play, man. Now, we did hit the ace here. Not a bad flop. It's possible player 3 has an ace as well, He's going to check it, and I checked it as well. I said, okay. Maybe he's got like king-queen or jack-queen or something like that. Maybe we let him catch up. He's going to check again here, so obviously I got to put something out there. Now, this is where things get interesting. There's 2 flush draws out there, which I was totally looking at, because we're going to get re-raised here, So I'm thinking, are you doing this with like a flush, right? What are you doing this with? He went pretty big, too. I mean, I got to keep him honest, so I made the call. Now, river card, the flush got there. A part of me was actually thinking about bluffing at this, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad I didn't. He's going to go for some value here. Pretty small enough that it could be a bluff. That's why I was thinking about raising this. Do we turn our hand into a bluff? I didn't. I ended up just calling here, which was the right thing to do. We're not blocking the flush. He turned over pocket 4s. How sneaky is that, dude? Player 3. And he checked the turn. You guys realize that? He checked the turn. Great play right there by player 3. That was masterful, I gotta say. Sometimes when you take an L from somebody, man, you got to give it up to him. Player 3 right there. That was nice, man. That was nice. He had me. I couldn't let it go, especially with the 2 flush draws out there. I just couldn't fold it. I just wasn't believing it, even though... But he played that so well. He really did. Got to give it to him. Got to give somebody credit where it's due. All right, and I believe right after this is going to be the spot. And of course, we're making our way to the hand of this one. Like I said, man, I've been playing this game for so long now, and like I said, if you're just trying to take things a little bit more seriously, it definitely get in the community. I'll tell you what, man, it's going to be good for you. You can talk with me, other high-level members, and if you're just trying to take things a little bit more seriously, or if you're just not getting anywhere with this, right? I think a lot of people get stuck at some point. There are some unlocks to moving up in stakes and beating better opponents. And once you start to realize those unlocks, the game opens up a lot more, Sure, you're going to not get it right all the time. You're going to get into some situations where it's a flip, It is what it is. Now, player 1's going to open here, first to act. He's been playing pretty snug for the most part. Ace-king is ace-king. When it's suited, it's obviously a lot better. I put myself in the danger zone here. I couldn't get away from this. So I think you already know what we're leaning at here. We're gonna end up getting this all in. I'm gonna kick this up to the 45 piece or the 50 piece, and yeah, we're gonna go from there. So here we are. And yeah, I slowed this down because I mean we gotta see this. So he's gonna raise, and this was like the funniest raise too. We're blocking pocket aces, we're blocking pocket kings. It's possible he could have either one of those hands. I don't know. I just wasn't believing it. And sometimes when you're just not believing it, man, you just gotta go with your instincts. So here we are. We're gonna end up getting this one all in. And yeah, is you're watching it. No regrets about this. It is what it is. It's a flip. Player one having pocket queens here. He's going to be in better shape, obviously, but I still don't regret this play. Anyways, hope you enjoyed another update here. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Thanks for watching it. Tap the like if you made it to the end here, and we'll see you in the next one.